Mormons really need to stop making sci-fi movies. I mean, they gave us Battlestar Galactica and Ender's Game, which is good, but then we draw the line when they give us The Host and Divergent.
Haha, FilmCult.
Divergent. Basically the story of a young girl who is trying to figure out who she is in a society that does not accept her. Even for the young adult genre, this movie is completely unoriginal. It steals from either Harry Potter or Hunger Games. You pick. The way that they categorize people is very similar to the same way of going, you're in either House Slytherin, where you're a bad guy, or you live in this area, so you're a minor. This movie even steals from Ender's Game. You are special. And there's going to have a bunch of teenagers that are going to fight the oppressive adults in a world where they're the overlords. And of course, there has to be a romance. But, unlike other movies, this breaks away from the mold and doesn't do the love triangle. Instead, it does a completely original idea, a love stick. Have you ever noticed adult fiction always has adults as evil people? Every once in a while, there'll be that one person that's like a mentor, a good person, but most of the time, they're pretty evil. This would be author Avatar, except for the fact that all of these books are written by adults. The movie tried to make a comment on social totalitarianism, conformity, and individuality. We weren't sure if they were trying to make comments about our society today, the past, or where we think it's going to be in the future. All we know is that they tried to make these ideas where they tried to synthesize the idea of being an individual as part of society as well, and it didn't quite work out, but they went for it anyways. They didn't do such a bad job at it. It was a little simplistic, but it wasn't bad. In conclusion, this movie was pretty unoriginal. There were some good things in this movie. Kind of like in Ender's Game, the training sequences were really well done. For young teen fiction, there were some pretty messed up scenes in this movie that had huge emotional impacts on the main character. Kind of like Hunger Games, where they had some really serious subject matter. They did something similar here in this movie as well with the characters. The acting in this movie was subpar, but when in comparison to the rest of the movies in this genre, it was still okay. Okay, to be fair though, they really had some very difficult material to not make it look cheesy, so in that regard, they actually did a pretty good job. And then they threw in Kate Winslet, because they needed something legitimate in this movie. Fun fact! Kate Winslet was actually 5 months pregnant when they were making this movie. So if you'll notice, there's times when they just film her from here on up, or when she's walking around, they hide stuff around her belly so that you can't see that she's totally preggos. There are some pretty good scenes in this movie, and if you're part of the target audience, such as girls from the ages of 10 to 17, or mothers going through midlife crisis, or trying to relate to their estranged daughters, then you're going to absolutely love it. We categorize this movie as entertainment. We gave this movie 1.5 stars out of 3, or 1.5 original ideas. Did you like the movie? Did you see it? Do you agree with us or not? Leave a comment below. And our question for you this week is this a good addition to the genre of young adult fiction? Do you really like it? Does it really stand up to the other ones? Let us know. We'll see you next time.